Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state
She's
categorically,
asking a question.
Mr.
Don't be
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You are
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a
question.
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave versus the MSM. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. We are available 24/7 at davejanda.com. Take a walk on over. Tremendous amount of free public information. But where the real meat of the matter is on our subscription platform. We upload information on a daily basis. Information that puts you far ahead of the globalist constructed curve that ends in a brick wall with the shattering of your freedoms and your liberties. It's 30 cents a day. It's information I cannot discuss on the radio or on any public platform, which is why it's behind a paywall. Yeah. For the new year, give yourself a present. $9 a month. Try it for a month. If you don't like it, get rid of it. But I'm not sure why. Because the information we provide, according to our subscribers, doesn't just put you months and years ahead of the curve. In fact, our information has, in fact, according to our subscribers, saved many people's lives. Not hyperbole. Speaking of lives, I think we need to discuss today the cult's illegal trafficking. We know for a fact that the globalist cult, the globalist syndicate, the New World Order crowd, the whatever you want to call it, the deep state, the whatever, it's all the same. They are involved in many forms of trafficking. Drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, money laundering trafficking, and human trafficking. In fact, I've been told by people on the front line that the most money they make is through, you would think it'd be, well, probably we just let this arms dealer guy Boot go, who was funneling in hundreds of millions, probably weapons or maybe drugs or actually human trafficking. And it's not just a money side. Just think of the psychological side of this. There's some data. Well, let's start with the data. The Customs and Border Patrol has released some recent border numbers. At the end of fiscal year 2022, which ended, there were 2,378,944 encounters, which is the highest ever. And this is under the Biden administration and their open door policy. And it doesn't include getaways. And it does not include statistics from interior border enforcement. According to Michael Cutler, who's one of the top immigration experts in the country, and he's a regular in our platform, Michael has told us that a huge percentage of immigration that's coming in that's illegal is coming through not the southern border, but through airports in every state. More data. 5.5 million illegal aliens crossed U.S. borders since Biden took office. This from Tom Ozimek from the Epoch Times. The total number of people who have entered the United States illegally since Biden and Harris took office has climbed to 5.5 million, according to the Federation for American Immigration Reform. And half of those, more than half, reportedly, have come through international airports. More data. U.S. border arrests of migrants with criminal histories are up 350%. So in addition to the record-breaking migrant apprehensions, a subset of those with criminal convictions also rose significantly compared to previous years. Their numbers have increased by 350% since Biden and Harris took office. And then we have this. U.S. overdose deaths reached new record as fentanyl and meth use soars. Drug overdose deaths reached another record, peaking at just under 108,000, according to data published by the CDC. The increase of nearly 15% is significant. And the number of overdose deaths has increased every year since the 1970s. So we have a problem, Houston, right? And we're told we don't have money for interior border patrol agents. We don't have money for border agents on our southern border, which has become a sieve, not a border, for drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, money laundering trafficking, and human trafficking. We don't have money for not just a wall, but for the people to protect the national security of our country internally and at the border. But we have 90 billion, 100 billion that we know of to send to this goat rodeo that's occurring with a huge amount of money laundering and human trafficking and weapons trafficking in Ukraine. This Jean-Pierre puppet, globalist cult puppet that stands at a podium at the White House and spews lies on a daily basis, was recently asked by a reporter, Biden, as vice president, as president, has never gone to the border. She denied that, but could not produce any evidence that contradicted it because he hasn't. And he was recently in Arizona, a couple miles from the border, but didn't go. Why? Because it would focus attention on their sieve operation that is not incompetent. No, don't go there. It's willful. It's part of the globalist cult's agenda of destroying the sovereignty of countries. And then we have their puppets like Debbie Dingell, who's a congresswoman here out of Michigan, who's only a congresswoman because her dead husband held that seat before she got it. And he was there for God knows how many decades, and his daddy before that, and all cult puppets. And what did she say? Democrat, globalist, Deborah Dingell, says Joe Biden doesn't need to go to the border, I'm not kidding you, because he's seen photos. This from Christina Lau. Senators press Health and Human Services Department as a whistleblower in that department alleges unaccompanied children, human trafficking, are being transferred to criminals. This from Rita Lee from the Epoch Times. A group of Republicans are seeking information from the Department of Health and Human Services over allegations that the department knowingly places some unaccompanied illegal immigrant minors in the hands of criminals, according to a letter released by a DHS whistleblower. I've always told you it's the whistleblowers that are going to bring this whole house of cards down on every aspect, and it's true. And then we have this from Jim Hoft. Biden's policies cause surge in unaccompanied minors and greater chance of child trafficking. Biden lowered the standards for selecting an adult sponsor for children. Among other things, sponsors no longer have to get fingerprinted to claim a child from Border Patrol custody. The careless change was made in an effort to get more children processed and released to make more room for the countless more that will be coming. But when you consider the shockingly high number of sex assaults that happen to illegal border crossers, especially children, and the allegations surrounding the unqualified employees who are responsible for looking after them, it's almost as if Biden is endorsing the trafficking of minors. And we finally, under the word finally, have some people in state legislatures stepping up. Texas Governor Abbott declares an invasion on the border. This is something that Carrie Lake wanted to do if she became governor in Arizona, and you saw what happened there. Texas Governor Abbott declares invasion on a border, invokes U.S. and Texas constitutions to deploy guard troops to repel illegal immigration. He declared an invasion on the Texas border with Mexico. Deploy the National Guard to safeguard the border and to repel and turn back immigrants trying to cross the border illegally. We want legal immigration. It's illegal we don't want. Because with it comes a wealth of public health issues, national security issues, safety concerns, human trafficking, weapons trafficking, drug trafficking, money laundering trafficking. Right? Deploy the Texas Department of Public Safety to arrest and return immigrants to the border who crossed illegally, his order states, and to arrest illegal immigrants for criminal activity. Build a wall in multiple counties on the border. Deploy gunboats. Designate Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Enter in a compact with other states to secure the border. Enter into agreements with foreign powers to enhance border security. Provide resources for border counties to increase their efforts to respond to the border invasion. Right. For our constitutional republic to survive, we need immigration. Legal immigration. Illegal immigration is what the globalist cult wants because it destroys our constitutional republic. It destroys our safety and security. And it promotes weapons trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and money laundering trafficking, all of which benefits the globalist cult. It's time you take a stand, and you don't have to live in Texas, New Mexico, California to do this. It's time you take a stand in your own state and contact your elected representatives, local, state, and federal, and say, what are you doing to address the issue of illegal immigration? Because it's not just a border problem, it's an every state problem because of what's happening in international airports in our own state. What are you doing? And if you're not doing it, why aren't you doing something? And if you continue to do nothing and you don't produce a plan here in the next week, we're going to mount either a recall effort for you and your seat, or two, we're going to find somebody to run against you that values legal immigration. You have that power. You do. They just don't want you to know it, and they surely don't want you to exercise it. Well, let's make 2023 the year you exercise your constitutional rights and powers, and in the process, save our constitutional republic. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Thank you for joining us today. We are available 24/7 at davejanda.com. We hope you'll stop by. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.